jump right in. A little word association, image association. What is this?
A tasty beverage.
Tasty beverage. What else? Soda?
Cocaine.
Is this a Rorschach test?
Right? By looking at it, it could be many things. Okay, we don't know. Now it's word association time. What does this mean? Find out. Could be using a cork, plug up and down, right? Pulling something. Could be this. Right? Plug. These are also called plugs. Right? This is a plug on hold it on. Yes. These are the things also. He's got it. I don't know how he uses it. These are also plugs. Okay? In fact, if you say plug, somewhere else in the world they're going to say, what kind of plug are you talking about? A, B, is this a European North, a European South? It's a mess. So, let's talk about malware and viruses. Right? And that problem with names and associations. Okay? So, here, it's hard to read and I apologize. This is from Virus Total, and you have all these antivirus companies, and you have all these names. Right? What does that mean? Well, I kind of grabbed one of them, went out to the site, and this is tougher to read, so I blew this up for everybody. Okay? So, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They all refer to the same type of virus. Okay? In red, we have the different companies. And so I equate this to which team do you follow? Who is your team? Because it depends on the name that you have as to what team you follow, right? So, which team do you follow? Which team do you follow here? This is what drives the naming industry for malware and viruses right now. Okay, so let's go into a couple more, I thought, fun examples. This was a sample I looked at recently, and one of them didn't know, and it said it's unclassified malware. So that really helps you, right? If you have Komodo, let's say you have Komodo, and that's your antivirus, and it pops up and says, warning, it's unclassified malware, right? You don't know what to do. So as an incident responder, if somebody works in security, that can be a problem. Now there are those, and this is just I'm going to show this Twitter feed here, one at a time. David Bisson is talking about IBM security and how they have basically married 2 pieces of malware together to create a child. A bastard child called Gosnip, right? And it's completely, it makes no sense. It's all for marketing, it's all for fluff. It gives some data. Matthew Mesa, well respected, if any of you follow malware and things like that, you should watch this guy. He says, can we not change the names of known malware? This is basically NIME, okay? So these are problems. This is a very recent post. You see the 14th of April. I could have gone back and showed just full clips of this. So now it's game time, okay? So play a game. And the game is, which botnet has been one of the most common that no one really knows about? Okay, which botnet? I need Jeopardy music. Which botnet? And yes, I did use Comic Sans, so I put Comic Sans in there as one of the botnets. Anyone? Alpha Cup? Oh, this one wounded? I'll give you hints. Okay, here's a little secret. They are the same. Every one of those is the exact same malware, the exact same botnet, except for Comic Sans. Disclaimer. Every one of these is a name for the exact same piece of malware that is a botnet that is very common. And I had to throw in a main. My father's in the crowd, and he's probably like, "What the F is a main?"
What's that mean?
You tell me. So, Pomona Cup botnet, 15 million infections. Okay, this is a Foxnet report or Fox IT report that came out about 6 months ago talking about this, and I thought it was interesting. We never heard about it. Well, probably because we didn't know the common name. Okay, so rewind to a few months ago. I'm at BotConf. and I decided, this is a mess, because at BotConf, this is a list of all of the malware that was discussed at BotConf, okay? In fact, the irony was, why I used Monica in this example, you had different AV vendors get up and present about the research they did, and they were calling it the name they had, and then you would get another group of researchers get up, call that group out and say, you're wrong here, it's actually this, and we call it this, and that's, the name of it. And so you have this infighting, and it was almost hysterical yet sad, because you had some of the smartest people in the room. I mean, the Eastern Bloc has produced some of the best mathematicians, some of the best thinkers for this, and they are very good at reverse engineering and tracking this stuff. And I made this worthy for a talk I gave there and said, this is crazy. And all these fatter ones are ones that were duplicates of other botnets, botnets that were discussed at the time. So we need somebody. We need a vigilante. Okay? We need a Batman. We need that Bruce Wayne, the Bruce Wayne of security, whoever that is. I'm working towards that, and I'm here to talk to you guys about why we need that person. I am not the Bruce Wayne of security, and I'm not a very good Batman. I'm not built well. I don't fight crime. But we need that vigilante. We need somebody with the resources and the manpower to help come up with what CVE did for vulnerabilities. Okay? You may not like CVE, but you know what CVE does? It unites a common cause to go after and patch systems, to show awareness, to do things. It's not perfect, but it's better than what was before, which was a mess, a nightmare. You were on your own. It was literally the Wild West. So when it comes to malware and viruses, that's where we're at. We don't have this common thing that binds us. We have no way to map. We have no way to tie things back to either their origin, where they came from. I love this. Love genealogy. I want to know, what was that first sample of malware, and how did it spread? How did it split? Okay. If any of you are familiar with like Zeus is a parent, you could say, in that, and then look at all the children from it. Any of us who've had to work on that, it's a nightmare. It's Satan's spawn. It has caused so many other malwares that come off of that sample, okay? So we need a malware unique identifier, something along that line, a malware ID. Maybe we can go into a botnet ID, we can take it into other areas. But really what we need is that taxonomy, okay? We need a taxonomy that says, this is the sample, here's the data behind it, here's how it's related. If they can map viruses, okay, this is the viruses that infect mammals through their RNA. If they can map them out as to how they tie back and how they work, why in the world can't security groups and the people in security come back together and create a unique identifier and a way to map how malware works? Okay? We can use big data. It's a big buzzword, but we can use the data science behind it. We have the computing power. Storage is cheap enough. It's there. We just have to have the ability. We can't keep our heads in the sand, because we're going to end up wrestling elephants. Literally. This is my web page is called Elephant Wrestler because of a conference I went to. This man knows this guy helped me inspire, right? Great story. So, chasing after malware, the talk that was given before, the ransomware stuff, you were literally wrestling elephants. You were going after, a lot of times, a criminal element that has resources and all the ability behind, and we're busy chasing it and trying to track it down from the side when we're not collaborating. So, my challenge to the group, and my challenge to you, is we got to do something, because it's going to make it better. The fruits of trying will be worth it. The tools that will be generated just by trying to bring this data together. Think of this, how many of you are going to have interns in your office, and you're going to try to figure out, where do I send them to learn about botnets, or malware, or any other kind of virus, or anything when it comes to this? There isn't. You have to say, go Google a botnet. And you know what you're going to get? You're going to get a bunch of PDFs and white papers and marketing fluff and a horrible Wikipedia entry that's old that needs to be updated. So one of the things that I have bit off is I want to start a back-end database, and I have a couple domain names, and I want to make a place where I can take all of these botnets and correlate them. I want to take all those names like you saw with the checkbox. Let's figure out which one is really the bad guy when they all are. I want to have that central reference point. I want to point to all those folders. I want to point to, all those white papers, all those PDFs, and then I want to grow it from there. And I want to take that and show that it's possible, and then move that into a taxonomy. And I am the barking dog on a lot of these people. I have been told I'm an idiot. I've been told it's perilous what I'm doing. I've been told it'll never be done, and I cannot be a person with the head in the sand. This is something that security community has to come together on. To me, it's the only way we're going to get ahead, and there's going to be groups that fight it. There are going to be major AV vendors. I've been called out. When I gave this talk, the lightning talk at .com, just the initial 3-minute talks, I had AV people come up to me and tell me I was an idiot, and then I was doing something very dumb. I had analysts and researchers say, I want it, let's do it, it would be great. And I know there are giants like Kaspersky, there are groups like Trend, all these, they're giant marketing machines, and they want to name something. And you know what? This common unique identifier has nothing to do with the common name. It's just like a MAC address, it's just like an IP, everything else. We have domain names that point back to all that. I mean, it's that simple, and that's what I told these people. Your marketing team can call this whatever you want. You can have whatever common name you want to go with, but for the research, for the ability to get ahead and make a difference, you got to have this unique identifier. And you got to be able to build this out. And it's going to be slow at first. But as we start, as new samples come out, new code is written, when we start to give them these unique identifiers, it's just like how the CVE started. It'll start rolling, people will start submitting to it, but we need that Bruce Wayne. So that's my rant. It was 11 minutes. If there's questions, I would love to have it. What I want is, I'm not a database guy, I'm not a web designer, there's a lot of things I'm not. I'm an analyst, I'm a threat intel guy. I want to see people get together and share and collaborate. And so I want feedback. I want to know if we can start something here that can sort of Trent.